Okay, I really didn't know I was going to be sharing so much of this with you. I thought maybe I would just do a video of this cleaning out, but I thought I would go ahead and keep showing you some of the things he used, because I know some of you are curious what my older boys did do. I don't think I've ever mentioned any of this on my videos because I completely forgot. Okay, this video turned out to be not what I expected. I was going to clean out some old records from my oldest, who is now 20, and show you how I organize records for my now high schooler who's going into 11th. Hi, my name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom of 4 boys. I have graduated too. Today I am sharing some curriculum that I used for my oldest from 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So here we go. I did want to tell you a couple of things. As I'm going through my oldest, this is his file folder system for high school. So I have 9th through 12th grade in here. But I'm going to go ahead and clean it out. I probably am going to still keep everything, but I'm just going to put it in a regular box so I can recycle this. It was actually, I purchased it on Amazon, and if I can link it below I will, but it's just really expensive. And I did not purchase one like this for my second one who just graduated, not last year, not this past year, but last year. And it was okay. This is my favorite. Like, I wish I could, but I think, I want to say it was $30. I could be wrong. I will link it below. So I just can't see myself investing in it, especially knowing now, okay, I've kept all this stuff. He graduated in 2020. He did go and get an associate's. I'm going to keep this stuff for a little bit longer, but I'm just going to wrap it up in a box and have this more accessible for my rising 11th grader. So I have a file system, but it's a smaller box. Not everything's going to fit in it. That way I can keep everything and just help me mentally keep track of where he's at and his records. And his grades. So this is my oldest, and what I usually did was I kept a thicker file folder for the grades, and then I just kept a file, and I'm pretty sure I had written in here more detail about his 9th grade year, but I don't see that in here. So I'm thinking I'll find it as I'm cleaning out. And then for each subject, like this was for biology, and this was a lot of just his tests, I think, and some papers he had to write for it. I'm sort of looking through it right now. And I also, it is suggested that you keep course requirements. I've heard that from lots of different people that have homeschooled through high school, and also the home scholar, she mentions that. So it really was not something that was necessary for me, but I'm still glad I did it. That way, if you all have questions or another mom has questions, and I just cannot remember because that is starting to happen. I don't remember all the details for my 2 oldest, that I can go back and really look at what, like I even had the name of the teacher at his co-op class written on here and what he used, and details there for the biology, which I actually still have the notebook, but no, do I have the notebook for that one? I thought I did. I have the advanced biology. I feel like I may still have the notebook. I just didn't get it. It didn't all fit in here. And he used Apologia for that. And he used Heart of Dakota World Geography. Like, I still have his notebook for that with all his writings in here. I have the course description, and that can actually be printed out. Some curriculum will have something at the front where you can just copy it and you may not have to write details down. So that was nice. His math, geometry, he did geometry. This was my one that did algebra in 8th and did geometry in 9th. So just have a little description of that, and I kept all his tests. I didn't keep everything for that. And PE, you know how hard it is for PE, and everybody's different. Some people may be involved in sports and can count specific hours. I'm going to be honest, I had a calendar, but we didn't collect specific hours, but I did write a lot of details about what he spent doing that year: canoeing, hiking. He did spend some time at the gym, some baseball and football, and that was probably more just friends or brothers or even teen activities. Sometimes they would do that kind of thing. So, and then for Bible, I have a lot of his notes, and I actually only gave him half a credit because he used actually the Abeka book that they use for 9th grade, and he read through that, and he did a lot of some notes, some Bible verse memorization, but for me it was more of a half credit that he earned that year on the work that he did. And that might be something you have to weigh out for each child. Just because a curriculum may say it's worth a credit, how much effort and work did your child put into it to make it? Now for logic, we used Heart of Dakota that year. They have it listed in their guide. I have just the answers from the questions, and he also did the second half, the second semester of it, which he did mostly the DVDs for that. So, and then English, audio, sailing, Christmas Carol. Okay, second semester was a couple books, couple more writing projects, but mostly grammar from BJU Press. Okay, so for my son, and this is funny because I don't actually even remember too much of this, but I'm noticing that I have detailed grades here. And he did BJU grammar. I think there was a year that I did do that online. And I think I may have tried it this school year because several years back, they used to have it halfway through the school year that you could purchase one of their videos for $99, and that is probably what I did for him, because now that I think about it, I started out using Rod and Staff that was suggested from Heart of Dakota. That was my first year using the World Geography. I am remembering. So I used the World Geography, and we started out with all their language arts, which would be all their grammar, and they used the BJU literature. I was realizing right up front that that was going to be way too much. I did purchase a lot of that used, so I didn't feel too guilty about it. And we did do the Rod and Staff, and the funny thing was that he actually liked the Rod and Staff. For me, I struggled with it because it was teacher intensive. I probably, if I was more familiar with it, could have made it a little bit more independent, but he did really well with it. So I don't think I've ever mentioned any of this on my videos because I completely forgot. So the second semester for the grammar, I must have bought the BJU videos for him to do the grammar because I have test grades here. Now, he also did IW videos that year, and they would have been the older videos. I'm pretty sure they were level C. He has lots of papers here from that. So that he has written out, and then he did some, we decided to do some of our own literature. I have Man in the Sea, Danger in the Desert, and I'm glad I'm seeing that because I really like that book and I want to pull that out maybe this school year for my 11th grader. Call of the Wild, A Silk Road, I think that was one of Heart of Dakota's books, but I counted it. The King's Fifth by Odell, and I think that was it. So, oh, and we did A Christmas Carol. I think we did that as a family that school year. So this is why it's good to keep records. It might help you to go back. If you have several children, what did I do with that one? Maybe I would like to go back and look at something again. So wanted to share that with you. So sharing this with you, even though I didn't realize I was going to, completely forgot about some of those things. So, but I'm glad I did look at this. I'm gonna go finish going through this, might share some more things with you. And I'm gonna clean it out, get it boxed away so I can start pulling out my rising 11th grader, get his stuff filed. I've got a small file, like I have started this, but I need to turn some grades in to our umbrella by the end of the month. So let's work on that. I have mentioned this before, but in 10th grade, he did, and this is the old Fix It, so, but it was Little Mermaid. And this was in 10th grade, and he did the U.S. history, and that was all at a co-op. Like those two were together, and there was a teacher there for that. So I wanted to mention that. And then he would have done Algebra 2. He did Matthew C. And that is the year that he did do the advanced biology, was in 10th grade. So, and I still have his notebook from that. And he actually really enjoyed that class, and he is my mathematical minded, logical minded. So I'm glad he actually enjoyed both the biology classes. Okay, I keep coming back. But for health, he actually did the life packs. So I wanted to mention that. So I do have all these. It went well. He was interested in some of it, but not all of it. And I just think that's partly a boy. He likes to work on, by the time they're 10th, 11th, 12th grade, they want to work on what they're interested in. But he did read through it and get these done. So, but it really was pretty basic, and it's really comparable to what my other two did, which was total health. Okay, I really didn't know I was going to be sharing so much of this with you. I thought maybe I would just do a video of this cleaning out, but I thought I would go ahead and keep showing you some of the things he used, because I know some of you are curious what my older boys did do. And I was looking at his U.S. history, and this past year with my 10th grader going into 11th, we did use Heart of Dakota, but this is the first year we've done that. My other two used the All-American books, and he really had there's student books with that, and these are all the papers. Like there's almost a president study in there, which was really nice, and he did all that. And then there's like quizzes at the end. I think that's mainly what we worked on when he went through there. And there's some map work. It depends on how extensive you want it to be. He is really pretty familiar with American history already at that point, so I just wanted something that was he could get done and not have to put so much energy, because he was doing the advanced biology and the writing class at the co-op. So I didn't want every subject to be in depth. So I remember thinking this is something that he could breeze through and it'd be a good review for American history. Okay, this is this year my son, oldest, did the Winston grammar, and he did really well with this. And if you watch my review video for my 10th grader this past school year, really wasn't his favorite. We are actually going to go back to Fix-It grammar from IEW. But he also, the first half of the year, we really worked through the ACT book for English. We went through every step and more used it as a curriculum, and it was great. I'm seeing his ACT work in here. That's why I'm like, that's reminding me. That's what we did that school year for him. And then he continued to do just some IEW writing with the videos that we already had at home. And for finance, that is something he did his 11th grade year, and he did the Dave Ramsey finance. Let me mention Spanish. Spanish was an adventure for us. He started out with the BJU, and he did that for the first year, and then we went to, I think we did something else in between, and then he worked on the life packs. And these are actually part of we did not follow the Heart of Dakota guide, but this is sort of where I found that suggestion. And he had learned enough, I think, from BJU, because he did the videos online. I did that halfway through the year. Actually, he started that in 9th grade. And then we went on to this. So, okay, that year he also did government from Knotgrass. We used an older book actually, and then he continued with economics from Compass Classroom. Okay, his senior year, he really did not have a lot left, but I do remember, I'm pulling out stuff. He did physics from Apologia, and he did pre-cal from Thinkwell. Math. He did that online, and he really liked that. He likes just math in general. Like, he probably could just keep on doing that. But he was sort of praying about what the Lord wanted him to do. He was thinking about engineering, but he just could not see himself in school. He's very outside, hands-on person. He ended up going and getting a associate's in welding. So, and yes, that is what he has a job in right now. He's still praying about the future. He's still young. So he only did those the first semester because they weren't really a requirement. But I did want to let you know that he did work on those the first semester, just in case you were curious. And so he just got half a credit in those. And that's okay because he had already fulfilled all his requirements for math and science. So it wasn't absolutely necessary. And then he finished with English as a dual credit. So that finished off his first semester, and he was pretty much done and was able to work his last semester of school. So that is pretty much it. To share some of my thoughts about my oldest. Going to get this cleaned out and give you a look at what it looks like for my son now, who's going into 11th. Okay, this is why I am switching. This container will not hold 9th through 12th grade, and I like for it all to be together for when I pull it out every year. So I'm just going to start moving things over. Just putting this in here, but this is, he used this 9th, 10th, and I was sitting here thinking, yes, we're going on our 3rd year using this, A Simple Plan. This is by Mardell, and we really like this. I feel like this has kept record of everything that he was doing and has done. So that's sort of helpful also. Now for my oldest, it's actually out of the notebook, but I purchased from A Well-Planned Gal. She has lots of homeschool planners for the teachers and for the students, but she has one that is like for high school, but it includes 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, like all the grades are in one. It worked really well for my oldest, and I think I had tried it with my second. He is more my active mind, ADHD, everywhere person, and really, you would think that a schedule like this would work, and it did to a point. We did try it one year, and it worked to a point, but it wasn't like for my oldest, it was like perfect. Like it worked so great, and I really debated on purchasing. I guess I was worried it wasn't going to work with this one. I really do like the layout for me to write things in here for him a little bit better. It's a little bit easier, and I think he follows that flow a little bit better than this one. So, but, you know, if you have one that is, you know, very studious and wants to follow good directions and keep up with all his notebook work and have the checkoff list, this is a good one too. So, I don't have the cover or anything, but I'll link it below, A Well-Planned Gal. So, it would have all 4 years in one scheduled notebook. Okay, I do want to share with you that I do have a video that I sort of give more detail about filling out the file folders and what I put in them, and I will link that below. I did that probably his 9th grade year, but I'm going to go ahead and get this finished up, and then today and tomorrow go through his stuff, decide on what I want to keep in file, and get his grades up. Now, I do have a transcript that my umbrella provides. In our state, we're under an umbrella, and they actually do the transcript, which is nice. And I keep that in my mom's homeschool notebook, and because it's just one sheet of paper. Now, when I do a final file, I could do a copy of that in each year, so I can pull that out, like his 9th grade year. I could pull that out. I just have the subjects that he did that school year. So, and then I have a file folder for each subject and what I wanted to keep for that. So I need to do that for this 10th grade year. But I will link that below. And if you have any questions or love to hear some comments about how you keep your records for your high schoolers. Do you write course requirements for yours? Are you having to do your own transcripts? Would love to hear from you. Or if you have any questions and want more detail in a specific thing, please comment below. Would love to chat with you a little bit. So, all right, I do appreciate you all watching. I will be doing more homeschool content coming up, looking at different curriculums, some planning videos within the next month or two. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you like this video and it was helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up. That would help my channel. I do appreciate you all watching. I do hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.